began on the 13th of April 1947 in Plymouth, when you arrived as a second daughter to Gordon and Joan Connell. The fact you were born on your older sister Susan's first birthday might explain why she spent her childhood running away from you, and on one memorable occasion locked herself in the loo, which required the fire brigade to get her out. Mary, your younger sister, was born in 1951, and all three of you went to Busy Bees Primary School. As a child, you loved dolls, being driven to school in your grandfather's Austin 7 and being taught to sew by Grandma Hawthorne. According to Susan, visits from Grandma Connell were not so much fun, and you and your sisters left notes in the drawers of your house saying "nosy" because you knew she liked to snoop. You thought your older sister Sue and her husband John were an Evesham, and you were absolutely right. But they do have this message for you.
From the old crones.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Jill. Happy birthday to you.
Hooray!
Oh, sod it, that's enough of the stupid voice. When your grandfather died, you moved to 17 Compton Avenue, where you shared a house with your maternal grandmother. Money was tight, but life was good. You enjoyed caravan holidays to Perranporth, camping with the Girl Guides, flying kites on Dartmoor with your beloved father, and catching the ferry to Corsand, a place that would come to play a big part in your later life. The arrival of two younger brothers aroused another of your great passions, babies. More of that later, but even as a child you couldn't get enough of them, showering love and affection on your brothers Michael and David, as your sister Mary recalls.
Hi Jill, happy birthday. I'm sure you're having a lovely time in sunny Spain with all the family. The thing I remember about you most as a teenager was your love of babies and how you used to rush home from school every day so that you could look after Petsy Lamb. And then of course you went on to have 4 beautiful babies of your own, and we all had so much fun together when they were all young. Anyway, have a wonderful holiday and looking forward to seeing you when you get back. Lots of love. Bye.
And we tracked down Petsy Lamb himself, all the way to Thailand, where he had this message.
Happy birthday, Jill, from Ko Chang. Don't really know what else to say. Lovely well, we can't see you, so it's happy birthday from us. Somewhere for you to come to. Maybe we'll get here together one day. And I meant to say a little word about you, anecdotal stuff. I don't really know what to say, apart from thanks for changing my nappy when I was a little boy. And looking after me when I was 14 and 15, getting me away from my old parents. So, love to you from Ko Chang, and see you soon.
Bon anniversaire.
Bon anniversaire.
Bye.
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 You took the 11 plus and miraculously made it into Stoke Damerel High School, where babies were clearly still on the agenda. As your sister Susan remembers, Jill was very successful with boyfriends and always had a steady, Paul, Keith, Nick, and so on. You haven't seen them for more than 50 years. No, don't worry, Dad, they're not here tonight. In 1965, your desire for dirty nappies, vomit and sleepless nights could be contained no longer, and you set off for the bright lights of London and the mothership of newborn babies, Great Ormond Street Hospital, where you began your training as a nurse. Thanks to your surname, Connell, you found yourself in the same class as one Nurse Cook, your great friend, Cathy Whitrow.
Hello, Jill, my dear old friend. It's Nurse Cook here. Remember me? Hi, Jill. Happy birthday, old girl. You've nearly caught me up, 70. Can you believe it? 52 years we've known each other. 52 very happy and memorable years. And I just thank goodness that we all met, that we were all called Cook, Connell, Buckingham, Brigstock, and we were all next to each other in Guildford Street all those years ago.
It was at Great Ormond Street Hospital that you met the young women who would become your dearest and longest suffering friends. Maxine was one of those young nurses and remembers your first meeting well.
My biggest and greatest memory, I think, of our time in Great Ormond Street, despite all the fun anyway that we always had together, is the fact of our first day when I arrived at the PTS and sat with your mum and yourself, with my mum and myself, having tea before we left them and said goodbye. I think that's probably my overriding memory of first meeting you. In fact, it was my first memory of meeting you, because you were the first person I met really and got to know a bit, and then it all went on from there. Anyway, this is just, as I say, to wish you a very happy birthday and lots of celebrations and fun, and enjoy your time with all your wonderful family. Take care, lots of love.
Little did you know, as a fresh-faced, fun-loving nurse in the midst of the swinging 60s, that life was about to change. When, during a dance at Guy's Hospital in 1966, a Welsh youth with gargantuan eyebrows and a cheeky smile cut in while you were dancing with a porter.
Owen and I used to go to Nurse's Home dance every weekend to pull. Owen pulled Maxine and I saw Jill and I fancied her immediately. We went on a mass date a few weeks later, meeting at the Six Bells pub on Putney Bridge. There was me, Owen, Bob, Williams and Chick and about 5 girls. We squeezed 8 or 9 of us into my Mini somehow and made it up Putney Hill and went to a party in Wimbledon. For our first proper date, I took Jill to the pictures in King's Cross, where we saw Elsa the Lioness. When they showed zebras crossing the track, I told her it was the original zebra crossing, and she almost wet herself.
With his TARDIS-like Mini, Brezhnev eyebrows and wildlife-based comedy, this man, Clive Davis, proved to be the one. And better still, he turned out to be quite good at making babies. You wasted no time. After a shotgun wedding in November 1967 in Sturry outside Canterbury, Lisa, your first child, was born on April the 28th, 1968. He was there on the night that you met the Celtic Casanova at the dance, and like his friend, went on to marry the nurse he pulled that night. A friend for over 50 years, Owen James.
Going back to that holiday in Perranporth, we obviously have many, many long-abiding memories of that holiday, and one of the clearest I have of you, Jill, was you swam almost every day, neither in the pool, we had a big rock pool on the edge of the beach, or in the sea, but you're always with your head bobbing up in the air, keeping your hair clear of the water, not wishing to get your hair wet at all. I think it was in case it got frizzled and curled up, and anyway, we have very, very many happy memories of lots of holidays together. And thanks a million for being such a good friend, such a loyal, very hospitable friend to us all, to our family, over the many, many years. God bless, love you lots, and see you soon. Bye.
As newlyweds, you moved into the ground floor flat in Erpingham Road, Putney, beneath your Welsh mother-in-law, Vinnie, who was still fuming that her son hadn't married a nice Welsh girl. Living a few doors away was someone who became a regular, some might say too regular visitor, turning up every Monday night to watch a horror film he once had to be persuaded to leave in a rather unusual fashion.
Looking as good as you do, about 35 years old, how can you possibly be 70? And how can it possibly be 50 years since you and Clive and I frolicked in your sitting room at 71 Erpingham Road, where you and Clive put freshly cut toenails in my coffee in order to get me to go home? Happy days before you had children, lovely children, but children that you encouraged to torment me at every opportunity. Oh, thank you. And thank you also for the most famous shorts of all time, the London Underground Stand on Their Own shorts. And Brenda and your goddaughter Joanna join me in wishing you a very, very happy birthday. Oh, and someone else would also like to give you a smile of good birthday wishes.
Now, with your very own baby to care for, there was no need for other people's so you left your job as a nurse and set about making more. In 1969, you bought a house on Bective Road for £5,000, considerably less than you would now pay for first-class flights to various exotic locations, where your second child, Daniel, was born in October 1970. Why was he born at home and not in a hospital? Clive has the answer.
When Lisa was born, I bought nearly everyone in London a drink, and we were skint, and more or less stayed that way for a long time afterwards.
Naming your first son after your mother-in-law's late husband led to a thawing of relations and the blossoming of a great friendship, one that had its benefits, including a hefty discount at Harrods and family membership of the Herodian Club in Barnes. In an era of flared trousers, big sideburns and white dog's poo, you made new friends as a mother, including this one.
Hello Jill, it's Pam here. Happy birthday, by the way. And I'm just remembering the times when we were young and we had all the kids in Wandsworth Park and sharing bun rounds, driving lessons. Oh my goodness, we had some great times with the children, didn't we? And Harrods swimming pool, all my lot remember. And that was all very exciting. And I hear you're having not a party, but you're all away together, having a nice time in Spain. Enjoy and have a wonderful day. Lots of love from all the family and me. Okay then, bye-bye.
With holidays taken in Wales and your husband's deep passion for rugby, it was perhaps just as well that you proved to be such a big hit with his Welsh family and friends.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Auntie Jilly. Happy birthday to you.
Happy birthday, Jill. Many happy returns. Love from Joy and Frank.
Happy birthday, Jill.
See you soon.
Yeah.
Lots of love.
Jill Davies, llongyfarchiadau a phenblwydd hapus.
Your Welsh leanings only went so far, however, when, in 1975, your third child was born. You point-blank refused to name him Gareth Edward Davies. Clive had to settle for William Gareth Davies instead. 1977 was the year in which the Queen celebrated her 25th year on the throne, and the Davies family celebrated the 30th birthday of its own Queen. It was also the year in which the household expanded yet again with the birth of Hugh, your fourth child, and the arrival of your youngest brother, David, who moved in at weekends too, in his words, to watch some rugby, drink beer and eat curry. What David might have added to the list was trying and failing to chat up the catwalk of foreign au pairs, which included Gabrielle, Denise, Marie-Laure, Arancia, among others. If 4 kids and a rugby-loving husband weren't enough, in 1981 you decided to start your own business. Tinker Tailor was launched out of a shed in the garden of Percival Road in East Sheen, but not before a mass protest by around 400 angry and very, very inbred guinea pigs and rabbits, which were forcibly evicted so that Tinker Tailor Towers could be constructed. Like almost everyone else in this show, your partner in crime in the world of children's fancy dressing up costumes could not be here tonight, but she did record this message for you.
Hello, Jill.
Hi, Jill.
It's Sue and Tubby wishing you happy 70th birthday.
Happy birthday. When we think back all those years that we've known you, all those Tinker Tailor stories where we had such a great time going to Hamleys. Do you remember when we went out the back into their rubbish bins, filched all that suedette, took it home, made it into cowboy outfits and sold it back to Hamleys? Do you remember getting high on Yoo-hoo when we were making fairy wands?
I never knew anything about this at all.
Well, we thankfully we've all matured so gracefully. We're no longer children, we no longer play silly games, and we've matured so well and so sensibly, and we just wanted to say what a great friend you are, and as mature adults we wish you a very happy birthday. Happy birthday!
The Sheen years were a happy time. Number 7 Percival Road was a home fashioned in your image as a loving mum and the centrifugal force within the family life.
although that didn't stop your daughters trashing it in one infamous party, or your youngest son transforming the dining room into a church. It also had a wonderful garden, one that your eldest son turned into a 9-hole golf course, and your third child almost castrated himself after being found hanging by his gonads from a homemade zip wire. It was the house that also staged great parties, Lisa's included, and more importantly witnessed the birth of a new sport, dog poo flicking, in which you topped the world's ranking after famously using your trusty garden hoe to propel one turd all the way to Barnes. As well as being an incredible wife and mother, you've always been the most loyal and loving friend, as these people will happily testify.
Brilliant. But I always think of parties, you and parties, at the nurses' home, Red Court, Aberdare Gardens, your house, my house, rowing clubs, Harrods Club, Sheila's party, driving off to John Cochrane's party with you in Vinnie's outfits, in Vinnie's 50s dress, and many, many outfits, Dalmatians gear, 60s gear. My goodness, we've had some fun. Anyway, I hope you have a wonderful birthday, and here's to many, many more memories and more fun, and I look forward to seeing you very soon. Lots of love, old girl. Bye.
So,
Thumbs up.
That's good.
Can we see everybody?
Yeah.
Okay, we're gonna have another go?
Yes.
Talk
Okay.
up, Jill.
One,
One.
two,
Alright, Granny should have.
three.
Granny's in charge. 4. We had
That's a long morning. 2, 3.
Happy birthday, Jill! Well, that's all we've done.
How are we going to end
now.
Dynamic, determined and forever on the lookout for the next challenge, your next project saw you going back to school. First at Richmond and Kingston, then in teacher training, and finally at Wimbledon School of Art, where you graduated with a BA Honours in Theatre Studies and Costume Interpretation. The latter being particularly useful given the variety of costumes Hugh spent his childhood in.
Forgot, when we did the opera down in Brighton, we had the fabulous Muir with us. Do you remember him? The kind of Captain Chaos of the costume world. And we were threatened with everything being made in willow that he'd suddenly got into, and he was building everything in willow. Happy birthday. Lots of love.
A brief downturn in the family's fortunes did nothing to deter you, and after a short spell in which you shared the executive garden shed with your husband and the world's largest and most expensive computer, one which died after being fed a family-sized bar of whole nut, the Davies clan decamped to a series of smaller houses. In one we had a garage for the very first time. Unfortunately, it was pressed into service as a dining room. Clive went into the building trade, where he teamed up with an old friend and very big fan of yours.
Jill, thank you for your friendship over the last 40-odd years. Been great fun, and I've really enjoyed helping you with your education. Happy birthday from Julian and I.
The early 90s brought very mixed emotions. Vinnie Mungie died, and you lost your dear father, Gordon, Grandpa. The family moved into Erpingham Road some 23 years after you last lived there, and you and Clive celebrated your 25th wedding anniversary. Most significantly, you scared the living daylights out of everyone who loves you by being diagnosed with cancer, something you beat with trademark bravery and class. You also became a foster parent to Kenny, the world's most irritable bastard cat. Your antennae were on high alert when one morning you awoke to find Lisa and 2 young men asleep on your living room floor. It wasn't quite the morning after the night before it might have been, but with Mystic Meg accuracy you predicted that one of these youths was indeed the one. You turned out to be right, and Nick, the floppy-haired, better-looking of the 2, became a permanent fixture.
Hi, Jill. I'm not sure there's much I can say that hasn't been said already, other than you are the most remarkable non-mother-in-law and non-son-in-law could possibly wish for. I can't believe it's been 25 years. I don't think we've ever had a crossword, and you're just fantastic. Anyway, let's have a drink. Happy birthday, and let's continue with the video.
Now it is time to celebrate Grandma, a role that nobody on this planet embodies quite like you. First, in September 1999, came George, the golden boy.
Birthday, Grandma, from the longest-lived grandson! Yeah, boy!
Having bought a small cottage in Corsand, you decided to banish the memories of the executive shed and the dining room cum garage by buying a stately home, The Woodlands, a house that you have turned into the ultimate family home, as well as a place that will forever live in the hearts of your grandchildren. The second grandchild to arrive in 2002 was the lovely Lily.
Happy birthday, Grandma. I hope you have a wonderful time in Spain and a wonderful birthday. Just like to say what a wonderful grandma you are. You're always so kind and generous to us all. Love from Lily and Queenie.
In 2005, the Woodlands hosted its first family wedding when William and Elisa tied the knot in Corsand. It blew the fuse box at the reception and then they sailed off round the world on their honeymoon.
Dear Jill, the first time I met you, William and I hadn't even started dating. We turned up out of the blue and unannounced, and you were warm, loving and caring, and a wonderful hostess, and I thought how lucky William was. Nearly 15 years on, you're still all of those things, but you're also the most wonderful mother-in-law I could wish for. Thank you for your endless patience and your support. Life is better with you in it.
When Will and Elisa finally returned, grandchild number 3 was already on the way. And like all those before her and since, the gorgeous Grace had some very special things to say about her grandma.
When we go to Grandma and Grandpa's house, we often play the game of who can spot their house first. And we do lots of making, and we usually go down to the beach and do rock pooling, collect British shells and stones. And the best bit about Grandma, she's the best grandma ever and grandpa ever. And the best thing that we've done recently is go to Harry Potter World with Lily and George. I love Grandma and Grandpa!
What became very apparent was your children had inherited your love of babies. In 2010, the one and only Connie was born.
I like going down to the beach with Grandma and swimming in the sea and making big sandcastles with the sand. And her pizza is the best. And at her house, we like making funny faces of each other. And best of all, she brings, on my birthday, she brings me lots of presents and I love it.
A little over a year later, George, Lily, Grace and Connie were joined on Grandma's pinboard of photographs when Daniel and Iona got in on the act and produced little Iris.
Go.
Hello, Grandma. Happy birthday. I love you so much.
Why do you love Grandma?
Because you are so beautiful and you got puffy hair and I like doing yoga with you.
Returning to your native southwest has proved to be one of the best moves of your life. For a while, you ran your own music festival before it ended in a massive punch-up involving your 3 sons. You've resumed your tennis career and Clive was elected mayor without having to resort to Russian hacking. Better still, you and the former mayor have become much-loved members of the local community.
Hi Jill, just a quick one. Have a great happy birthday and I'll see you in Cornwall. Welcome to the Over 40 Club. Go.
Hello Jill, Penbluff Lowen.
Hi Jill, and a very, very happy birthday to you. Well, you know what they say, that you ought to try a new challenge every year. And I think that yours this year should be writing a book about how you survived so many years living with the original grumpy old man. You've had 4 awesome children and you've got all those wonderful grandchildren who I know you love being with, and they certainly love being with you. And now you've reached, I think it's about your 7th decade, where you certainly look 20 years younger than that, and you're as fit as a butcher's dog. Have a wonderful day and a very, very happy birthday.
Happy birthday, Jill. Have a lovely day. Puppy kisses.
Hello, Jill. Have a wonderful birthday.
Shall we sing happy birthday?
And no.
Oh.
Thank you for being a friend and putting up with our weird ways.
Yeah, you speak for yourself.
That's it, Meg, thank you.
As a businesswoman, the Woodlands has gone from strength to strength, which has resulted in you squandering your children's inheritance with a series of expensive and increasingly exotic holidays. Not even the controversy surrounding the biomass gate could derail you from your life as an international jet setter.
Jill, we've been to Budapest, Rudesheim and Vienna.
Now we're off to warmer climes to sample better weather.
We supped the wine and drunk the beer.
But just a note to remind you,
At your request, we've learnt to run.
'cause we don't want to pay for none. Happy birthday, Jill. Love you.
But for you, it has always been about family. And happily, the family has kept on expanding. In 2012, Dan and Iona got married in Scotland, and Hugh finally got on with it and introduced the family to the lovely Steph.
2, 3.
Happy birthday, Jill. Cheers.
Happy birthday, Jill. Have a great day and have a wonderful holiday in Spain.
And a happy birthday from me, Jill, as well. One of the youngest 70-year-olds.
Hi Jill, happy birthday! Thanks for getting us all together. We are having the best time, I'm sure. And happy 70th. You're a most amazing grandma, mother. You're the closest thing to a mom that I have, and I'm so lucky to have you. You've come out to New York for the birthdays and all the births, and you taught me to always point the Winky down when I changed those nappies. I'll never forget when I was changing Arthur's, you told me the Winky needs to be pointed down. And thank you for that, because now every time I change, I always remember your words. But I love you so much, Jill. Thanks for everything. You're the best grandma. You're the best mom. And we love you so much. Happy 70th, and here's to many, many, many more.
Then, in 2013, grandchild number 5 arrived, when Will and Elisa produced their third daughter, the wonderful Nancy.
I like Grandma making lots of kisses. And I like Grandma making sandcastles. And I like Grandma cuddling hugs.
After a long run of girls, it was time to offer George some company. First up of the junior boys crew was Albert, born a couple of days after Hugh and Steph got married in Denver in February 2014.
Happy birthday, Grandma! But I visit.
What do you say?
Happy birthday, Grandma! You're so beautiful!
What do you say, Albert?
Happy birthday, you're beautiful. Happy birthday, you're beautiful. I don't mind.
Followed by Arthur, the first of the New York branch of the family. Cue more expensive transatlantic travel. And finally, little Owen.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you, Owen. Happy birthday to you.
Jill Davies, you've had a rich and wonderful life, and there's plenty more to come. We've heard from your siblings, your oldest friends, and your 9 adoring grandchildren, amongst others. Now, though, it's time for those who have benefited most from your love to have their say.
Mumsy, it's your 70th birthday. Feels like a great time to remind you that you're very extraordinary. Not just because you're Mumsy to the 4 of us, but your dad's Jill, your 9 adoring grandchildren's grandma. You're a fantastic sister, an amazing aunt, cousin, friend to very many. So I wrote down the 70 things that I love about you most. I wasn't sure where to start really, but I guess I'll start with the fact that you're endlessly loving. You are a study in always putting the family first. You're kind, you're caring, you're always present. You're wise, funny, energetic, crazy creative. There's actually nothing you can't make brilliantly, and your meringues are a marvel. You're generous, you're inclusive, you're very diplomatic, you're encouraging, you're honest, you're stylish in every sense. You know when to step in and when to step out. It's an art and a science that I definitely aspire to as a parent. You're ageless in my eyes, and I think you and I have a very special telepathy. I think you're the only person that is always about to dial me as I'm about to dial you. It's a wonder we ever get through to each other, but we do. I love you because you tolerated the young me. I think you should probably be knighted for that. You sat through countless rubbish plays, fake church services, stolen flowers, tantrums, epic meltdowns, fights, tons of them. You always had the art supplies and the pinking shears just when they were needed most. Thanks for that. With you, it was always the big things and the little things. I don't know how, but you always had it covered. You have amazing wanderlust. You have a crazy appetite for new people, places. You've travelled and you still travel. I love that about you. You've even long suffered me living abroad for quite some years now, and me and my family living abroad. But you've got to take it as the ultimate compliment, because you raised us all to believe that we could do whatever we wanted to do. So that's that. You got ill and you bounced back better than ever. You got a juicer. You were well ahead of the curve. You always have been. You have an uncanny ability to spot the trend from outstanding kids' costumes to adult crushes. You always come up with the ideas first. You're an absolutely extraordinary grandma. I don't think 9 children could love you more if they tried. It is a superglue bond that forms at birth, and you've witnessed enough of those. Their adulation of you, I think, doesn't know any bounds, and it certainly doesn't know any distance. Arthur is always absolutely thrilled when I say, let's call Grandma, we're going to go and see Grandma. He speaks endlessly of Grandma's house. And Owen, even at 5 months, cracks a smile when you come on. So, I've lost count of the things I love about you, because there are so many more. I'm the youngest, and I will always have known you the shortest. But I think it's fair to say we pack it in. We continue to pack it in. You are beyond special to me. I love you very, very much. And a very happy birthday.
My mum is caring, wise and bold. Her roots are in the West, but a 60s swinger of old. A nurse, a socialite, a graduate, an entrepreneur, a creator, a badgerer. Keeps her hair dry when swimming, enjoys tennis, yoga and winning. Hostess supreme to family and friend. High energy, no nonsense, always there comes the end. Gluten-free, no milk, and sport keeps her trim. Prefers rosé to gin, silver to tin. Gardener, housekeeper, grandma to 9. Sun-streaked and frizzy-haired, outspoken and glamorous, she's doing just fine. Whether deftly hoe-flicking dog waste off the lawn, or suggesting on when her grandchildren are born, if challenged on anything considered to test, she'll answer, "Flip that, I must be a witch, mother knows best." Sorry for the terrible poem. Love you, Mum.
Mumsy, lovely, loveliest Mumsy. It's very difficult to put into words what you mean to me, and it's something that I've been thinking about for a very long time, and I think it's impossible really, and it starts with you washing my ever-decreasing blanket and it coming out of the tumble dryer feeling warm and smelling lovely. It's you making pirate hats for me as a little boy, you indulging my love of my guardsman's outfit, which I wore all the time. the look of horror on your face when I came round the corner at Percival Road with my front teeth knocked out, having played cricket with Alex, taking me to hospital when I was too small and making me have a Bavarian meal. Coming home from school, having said awful things with my wicked tongue and bringing you bunches of flowers. You cooking me pork chops because I was such a fussy eater and wouldn't eat messy food. You buying me a hairnet when I got my first flat top because I was scared of ruining it when I went to bed. Counselling me through numerous bad relationships and just keeping the faith in me. I think one of my favourite memories was coming home from Australia and finding the house empty, and then coming up to that hospital in Oxford and finding you all there, and you being a grandma for the first time, holding George in your arms, and just that sort of incredible happiness of being home and with you all. And I suppose the flip side of that was coming home to Erpingham Road one morning after a night out and meeting Dad, and Dad telling me the news that he'd had cancer, which was like being hit round the head with a cricket bat, and your ears ringing for like months. But the way he came through that was, you know, just amazing. And it was the scariest time of anyone's lives, any of us. But you were amazing the way you came through that, as you've been, you know, with everything. You've always given me good advice which often I haven't taken, like buy a house, use all your redundancy payments to buy a house, put a deposit down. Never did it. We've had fallouts along the way, and I've always hated the moments when I felt that we weren't getting on, and I always wanted to be back in your good books because, you know, you're the centrifugal force. You are the sort of heart of our family, and you're the person who keeps it all together, and don't ever think that we ever underestimate that, because it's just true. I think my proudest moment definitely was when you came to the hospital when Iris was born. That was something that I always wanted, to be able to show you one of my children, and I know that I'd probably sort of given up on the thought of it ever happening, and luckily Iona came into my life, and that was just so wonderful to be able to you know, put Iris in your arms and see how happy you were. And you know, I'll never forget telling you and Dad that Iona was pregnant and just how happy you were, and that made me you know, so happy. You're the greatest mum, you always have been. You're the greatest ever grandmother, and you know, all your grandchildren adore you. You know, none of us could ever wish to have a better mother or grandmother. You know, you're so hands-on, and you're so involved with all of us and all your grandchildren. It's incredible, really. You know, I love being at the Woodlands, even though you've all gone from London. It's home, you know, and the bottom line is, Mum, that home is wherever you are, and I love you to bits. Happy birthday.
Hi Mumsy, it's Lisi here. I'm going to keep this short because it's the night before we all go on holiday and my eyes are bleeding from video editing. Anyway, I just wanted to say I love you. You taught me how to be a mum, and I don't know, what can I say? I might cry. Right, I'm back in the room. Anyway, the other thing I was going to say is, they say that every woman turns into her mum eventually, and if that's the case, I don't have a problem with that. So Happy birthday, Mum. Thanks for bringing us away. Have a great holiday and a great birthday. Love you. Bye.
Hello, lovely girl. April the 13th, 2017. Probably the 50th or maybe the 51st of your birthdays we spent together. Happy birthday. What better way than to be here with everybody you love and everybody loves you. Happy birthday. Ta-ra!
Jill Davies, this is your life.
No.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to Grandma. Happy birthday to you. Hip hip hooray! Hip hip hooray! Hip hip hooray! Hip hip Italian.
Oh, that's not it.
What?
Is this it?
Yeah.
Happy birthday to ya. Happy birthday to ya. Happy birthday. Happy birthday to ya. Happy birthday to ya. Happy birthday. I just never understood.
That's happy birthday, Grandma, from Lily and Queenie.